Sometimes remakes just kinda suck. And that is the case here, unfortunately. Apart from its availability on PC, there are only two other features I like about the Secret of Mana remake. The fact that you can just run off without consequences, and that the dialogues are voiced, but even that is kinda quirky.
Welcome! What'll it be?
First off, let's talk technical issues, sadly. The game is only playable if you force your monitor to 60 Hz. If you don't, you literally just get stuck without even knowing why. Like what's the blacksmith door straight up not opening, and this path you need to pass in order to progress just not letting you through. One improvement certainly is that they added voice acting. Not having to read everything certainly is a bonus. However, it feels kinda quirky how their personalities interact and seem to have no depth to them. This becomes clear in some new little cutscenes that pop up when you sleep at the inns, which I thought was a really cute touch nonetheless.
That Watts is the best blacksmith I've ever seen!
Also, at important moments in the game, you get a, in quotation marks, proper cinematic cutscene, which is really neat. But let's talk graphics. Honestly, I'm not a fan. The 3D look just doesn't have the charm of the original pixel art. The worst for me was the cannibal flowers. What happened there? The soundtrack was another one where I was like, The remake music is okay, I guess. The original tracks just feel so much more right. I wanted to have the full remake experience, so I ended up battling the urge to switch to the original soundtrack, which thankfully you can do in the menu at any time, making it easy to compare versions. I do realize that my dislike is very most likely linked to my nostalgia for the game. I'm curious to hear your opinion. Do you enjoy the remake soundtrack better? Let me know your thoughts. Moving on to combat. You definitely feel a difference. Some bosses feel harder to beat, while regular gameplay was easier in most places, but others I just had to run off. Depending on the enemies, the AI couldn't really handle them well. We mostly just took damage without dealing any back. Dodging was out of the question entirely. Good that you can just regroup once entering a new area. Of course, if you do it like that, you'll have to spend some time leveling up, especially later in the game. I would just go level wherever I wanted, then fly to Kippo village to sleep for 10 GP, super cheap and fast. Plus, you get to catch up on all the additional discussions at the inns. For me, it was really worth it, since I could spare myself the frustration of barely making it through a territory and then not having enough resources for the boss. Talking about boss fights, I actually prefer playing the sprite. However, in the remake, I felt that during boss fights I needed to switch to the boy, since I can control spell casting through him while dealing maximum damage. Never had to do that in the original, but there I was, struggling to the max. The big issue remains the super annoying menu handling. When your characters are off-screen, you can't switch to their menu while steering a different character. This problem didn't exist in the original, and I worked out why. You used to be forced to stay within a certain distance, right? You'd always be in range. Now, in the remake, you can just roam free. It does have its ups and downs. Hear my confession. I couldn't even finish the game. For some reason, my attacks couldn't deal any damage. I did what you're supposed to do, cast both spells on the sword and try to charge up to level 8 at least, but that was impossible. There was no way I could cast a spell and then have time to charge up and hit the dragon before it already was out of reach. Dryad's magic would fade too quickly, so I couldn't even keep the charge held till the dragon reappeared. My theory is, the only way I could have beat the game was with a second player. One to cast the magic while the other charges up the sword. Anyway, that was not fun, so I let it be. Good life advice, by the way. So yeah, I really wanted to love this remake, just because it's easier to play via Steam than getting my Switch out. But honestly, if you want a satisfying Secret of Mana experience, just play the original. You can get it on Switch as part of the collection of Mana, or of course just emulate it on PC. That's it, all my thoughts on the Secret of Mana remake. I hope my kind of review made things clear for you. If you'd like to know more, or just want to hang out with me, leave a comment and make sure to stop by my stream on Kick or YouTube if you want to chat in real time. I'm live nearly every day. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos. Bye-sies!
What was that?